Hey guys, Sweetbabyjazzyb here, giving you a little post-lesson summary. It was pretty awesome checking out the turbo facility. The whole thing, of course, is where I remember seeing some videos being filmed, and I took some pictures and a couple of little videos. I don't think I got as much of a vlog together as I was originally planning, but I also did not bring my appropriate equipment, so there's that too. But the lesson went awesome. I feel like I really learned a ton, as I was hoping to, but a lot of it was in all of the ways that I hope to from an in-person lesson, which is really getting that tactile feeling. There's lots of stuff that you can be told, but getting the real actual feel for stuff is so much more important for the way I learn. So some of this stuff ended up being repeats of what I've already been told, and it's great to have the consistency with that, but also now I have somebody who is able to position my body in the way to know what it's supposed to, where my body's supposed to be, and how my body's supposed to move in that direction. So that was awesome. I think that the big takeaways with my physical game were dealing with focus on distribution of my weight, the way I've been going about it. I think I've been putting a lot more weight towards the front of my body, and I'm also more or less throwing my body down and changing a whole lot for no particular reason other than trying to get extra low, and so I need to work on that, and I got a better starting position, keeping my weight above my hips, which was good. I also was able to get a better starting position for my ball instead of pushing it out quite as far as I was. I now have it a little bit closer and have some room to push off, which allows me to have a little bit better backswing. So that was pretty good. We didn't talk a ton about footwork other than some little bits about speed while I was working on stuff, because I was going slow trying to think about all the pieces, and he more or less said chop chop, and I went and then stopped as much of the thinking, and that helped a lot with each of the pieces as I was going through them. So the other big thing that I feel like he helped with was getting me the good feeling of where my backswing should path, or where it's okay for my backswing to path, because I know I pull the ball behind myself, and part of that has to do with the way I'm rotating and dipping my shoulder and body, but the other part of it is just, I'm sure that's just the inclination I have for it. So he gave me a feel for how far out I should be going the other direction, and being able to know where that is was very big for me, because if I had to tell you myself, I would say, oh my gosh, that is way too far the other direction. That's going to be a very bad situation. And it was not. So that was good. And we did a foul line drill that made me realize that my balance is not as good as I'd like it to be at my finishing point. So that's something to work on. And then the big thing was getting my fit checked and actually having my fit be good. So that, I think part of the problem is what I thought was having my thumb all the way in the ball, and what he thought having my thumb completely in the ball, and probably what the other PSOs thought when they asked me if my thumb was all the way in. They expected that I knew what that meant. And it seems crazy to say that I didn't, but I did not understand what having it all the way in meant. And so that changed the fit a little bit more. I need an even shorter span. So that makes my old balls even more unfortunate. So that's going to be a sad thing to transition with, but we'll work on it. I did end up getting a bionic drill, so that's exciting. My amped is not terribly bad as far as the fit goes, so I should be just fine using those two balls, and considering where they are as far as strength and type goes, they are pretty good for bowling in just about anything, as long as I'm not dealing with super heavy oil or super dry oil. So we will certainly see how that goes. And it was pretty awesome. I got to meet Andrew Anderson. Yeah, pretty cool. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna put together a couple of the small video pieces, and it may not be a big post or anything like that, may just be a little short, but yeah, that is my little Jazzy Bees roundup of lesson time, and that is also Sweet Baby Jazzy Bee signing off.